Good morning, my name is Terry Cutts and I'm a docent at TMA, and today I'm sharing with you a lesson on color that takes place in the Hamilton Gallery. This lesson's mainly to show kids how different colors, warm and cool, can show different emotions, time of day, and help the artist get his message across. There are some supporting documents that will be available on the website, but the one thing you will need to do is head to Home Depot and get some paint cards so they can sort them. I hope you enjoy. Good afternoon, my name is Mrs. Cutts, and today I'm going to help you look at the art in the Hamilton Gallery. The Hamilton Gallery contains, as you probably can tell, art of the West, and that means it's about the people of the West and the landscapes of the West. Now, I'm a California girl, so you might think it's kind of crazy that I love Western art so much, but after I share my two favorite pieces in here, I think you'll understand why. The reason why I love these two pieces especially is because the artists really used color in a unique way. One used it to show mood and time of day, and one used it to show crazy action. So because we're going to talk so much about color before we actually look at our first piece of art, I want to spend some time talking about color. This is a color wheel, and as you can see, colors are divided into warm colors, which are all the reds and yellows and oranges, and the cool colors, which are the greens and the blues and the purples. And sometimes these colors can help create a mood or show action or make us feel certain things. And so artists are careful about how they pick them. Now, Jacqueline has an envelope of art sample chip cards from the Home Depot, just regular old paint chip cards. And I'm going to have you guys work together to separate them into two piles. One pile for the warm colors and one for the cool colors. Okay, and if you get confused, remember the warms are the reds, yellows, and oranges, and the cools are the blue, greens, and purples. I'll have this here in case you get confused. Okay, the next thing I want you to do is each of you choose one color from the warm pile and be ready to share either what it made you think of or how it made you feel. Okay, Pat, can you show us the color you chose?
I chose yellow.
Okay, and what does it make you think of or feel?
Sunshine. It just makes, yellow is like my favorite color. It just makes me happy. It makes me think of sunshine.
Okay, great. Kate?
I chose red, and I think it's just vibrant and active and a lot of energy.
Oh, excellent. Jackie?
I chose orange, and I didn't like orange so much when I lived in the Midwest, but now that I live in the desert, I like it a lot because I see it in nature, in mountains, and in the dirt, like in Sedona.
So it reminds you of the Southwest?
Yes.
Great. So I'd like you to do the same thing, but this time choose a color from the cool colors. Okay, and this time we're going to start with Kate.
I picked purple, one of my favorite colors, because it, again, I think it has a lot of energy. Even though it's cool, it's powerful.
Very powerful.
Yeah, it's got a gravitas to it.
Okay, excellent. Pat?
I picked this light green, and it reminds me of mint, and I love cold mint ice cream. It
Ooh,
just feels cool and
nice and
refreshing to
cool.
me.
Okay.
And I picked blue because I love water.
Okay. So we can see that colors make us think of certain things and sometimes have certain emotions. Not many of you mentioned emotions, but we're going to talk about those later. Okay, so now we're going to look at our first painting, and this is it. We're going to look at it from far away, and I'd like you to take a couple seconds just to look, and in a minute I'm going to ask you what you think you're looking at. Okay, Kate, what do you think you're looking at?
Well, I think I'm looking at cattle.
Oh, okay, what makes you think that?
Because it seems like they're in a field, and it looks like heads and backs, or the back and then the rump, and they're similar in color, so they're probably Black Angus.
Okay, great. Anybody have a different idea?
I think they kind of look like buffalo, but it looks to me like somebody, it reminds me of when I did finger painting, because it looks to me like somebody's just drugged their fingers.
Okay, so it's really messy.
Yeah.
Okay, you're noticing it's really messy, but it might be done with fingers, and you think it might be buffalo. Okay, Jackie, what are you thinking?
I thought at first it looked like bats.
Oh, interesting. What made you think that?
Like, if you look at some of them, the center is the thickest, like the body, and then it looks like wings with the...
I see the one you're talking about. Can you go up and show us which one you're talking about? Because there's one in particular that I see. Oh, okay. Does anybody else see bat now that she said that? Okay, great. Well, this is a painting done by an artist named Theodore Waddell, and he's an artist that is an abstract expressionist, and that means that he's not interested in painting things as they look. And so a lot of times with abstract expressionists, things are going to look really messy, and we're not going to understand what's going on until we take some time to look at the shapes and the lines, and then the image might pop out at us. So we're going to spend more time looking at it, and to do that we're going to take a close-up look. So let's move up closer. This time we're going to take a closer look at his painting, and I want you just to be thinking about the colors. And I want you to count in your head how many colors that you see. And in a minute I'm going to have you hold up your fingers to show me how many you saw. For now, just count them in your head. Don't raise your fingers. Ready? Okay, hold up your fingers. How many colors did you see? Ooh, so I see 5, 8, and 7. Okay, Kate, since you had the most, can you name off the colors that you saw?
Oh, I saw pink at the top,
Mm-hmm.
and then I felt like it was black way at the side,
Mm-hmm.
here in the lower left. Then I saw a green as you got down near the bottom.
Right in
And
here.
then I saw gray way at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw blue as we went up more toward the top. There was some blue.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw purple. And I think that was right at the top. And I don't know if that's 8 or not, but there's a lot of different.
There's a lot of different colors. It's really surprising once you get up close, isn't it? Would you say that the colors overall feel warm or cool to you?
Cool.
Overall, he's used a lot of different cool colors. Well, that makes sense because this is a painting of snow. Okay, but we're going to look at, I've taken a picture of this really blown up now, and I'm going to have one of these cards passed out to you, and I want you to look at it. And the question that you're going to be thinking about as you look at this is, why, if that's snow, why didn't he just paint it white? Why didn't he just paint it white? Snow is white, right?
Are we talking to each other?
Yes, go ahead and talk to each other.
Yeah.
Jackie, what did you think? Why didn't he just paint it white?
Because when you really see snow in the air and it's moving around, it doesn't really look white. You see all the colors and things behind it.
Okay, great. Anybody have a different thought about it?
I thought that maybe it was dirty snow, that the animals have been moving and mixing it with, whatever's in the ground.
Right, when you walk through, you can be lifting up the dirt. It's interesting that he used a lot of blues and purples because a lot of times snow will appear that way if it's in a shadow and depending on the time of day. So Theodore Waddell, because he's not interested in painting the images exactly like they're supposed to look, he's trying to convey some ideas to us by his use of color. And what he's done here is this is a picture called Mother Angus, and it's a painting of Black Angus, like Kate thought, and it's during calving season, which to me, I always thought all the baby cows and sheep were born on spring, but cows are born in the winter. And so Theodore Waddell went away to school to learn to paint, but he missed farming so much. He came back and he would get up at 3:30 in the morning and paint until 8 o'clock in the morning, and then he would go out and check on his cows. During calving season, he'd have to get out there at 2 o'clock in the morning. So this shows a really early morning time, and I'm going to show you a photograph of that time of day with the Angus.
Look at the blues and purples.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
So how is the photograph and the picture different? Or the same, whatever one you'd like to comment on. Yeah.
Well, for one, those in the photograph, the cows are sort of all lined up and they're walking in a, you know, you see a horizontal line.
Right.
Following one another. In this, they're all scattered.
They almost look like they're floating. Yeah, that's what, yeah. Okay, any other differences that you see?
Well, I mean, these look like they're partly buried in snow to me. Like this looks like super deep snow.
Yes.
You know? And it looks to me like maybe the painter or the artist was standing high above.
Oh, like an aerial perspective. Okay.
Yeah, because there's no horizon line with the sky in the painting.
Right.
So that would make sense that he might be up on a hill of some
Yeah.
sort. Okay, what do you see as the similarities?
Well, similar colors.
Yes. There's
And kind of shapes a bit.
If we reduce the cows to just shapes, they would look a lot like that. And Pat, you were talking about the dirty snow, and you can see here that where they walked through, there is a lot of the brownish colors,
Yeah.
so that makes sense. Okay, so Theodore Waddell chose his colors really carefully because he was trying to share with us a time of day, early morning, a time of year, winter, and I think he was trying to show a mood. So I'm going to say some words, and if you think that this picture brings that emotion up for you, you're going to put your thumb up. Okay. Energetic.
Yes.
Oh, you think energetic? Why do you say energetic?
Because there are diagonal lines and there's movement in the object, you know, that,
Right.
that I call an Angus. So they're like, they could be walking.
Okay, so there could be some energy. How about depressing?
No,
Calm?
sort of.
Calm. Peaceful. Happy?
No,
Not particularly.
Depressing?
No.
a little,
A little bit depressing to you. Why?
because I lived in that weather.
And so it can be depressing when you've been in
If it
winter for a
doesn't
long
grow.
time. Right, right. That is true. I lived in that weather too, because of mostly rain. But, well, Theodore Waddell, like I said, is an abstract expressionist, and his color use was really important in conveying his message in what I thought, to me, seemed like a peaceful winter scene, but everybody gets to interpret the art their own way. And he definitely was trying to show us early morning, so we're going to switch now to an artist that uses color in a really different way. And we're going to move over to see a painting called Handful by Walter Peel. Okay? Okay, so while Theodore Waddell chose his colors very carefully to create a time of day and to show us a mood, this painter paints with colors in a very different way. So I'm going to ask you to take a look at it for a minute and then be ready to answer the question, what is going on? Anybody ready?
There's lots of action.
There's a lot of action, okay.
You can see the hand up there.
Oh, so right here we can see a shadowing kind of the
And look at
hand.
his knees are up above the horse's back.
Oh, so what does that tell us? Maybe
Getting a good ride.
he's getting a good
Or
ride.
he's gonna get bucked off.
He's going to get bucked off.
Yeah.
Anything else?
The horse's eye is like looking right at me.
How do you think the horse is feeling here?
He looks terrified.
Terrified. Okay.
And his body's arched, you know.
Arched. Mhm.
Yeah, like he's maybe jumping up in the air almost.
His feet do look like they've left the ground almost, don't they?
And lots of jagged lines.
Lots and lots of jagged lines. We're going to talk all about those. Okay, so what color do you notice the most in this painting? Because before we were looking for a very cool color, lots of very cool colors. What color do you find most noticeable in this painting? Orange.
Lots of orange and yellow.
But orange and turquoise stick out to me.
And they contrast each other, and they're on the opposite side of the color wheel, and artists do that a lot to make things pop out more. They'll put things that are on the opposite side next to each other. Okay, so overall, what would you say the colors in this painting make you feel?
Energetic,
Excited.
excited, a lot of motion.
Right. And he's also an abstract expressionist like Theodore Waddell, though we can tell a little bit more easily what he's painting. But he is conveying a lot of his message through color in this. Now his horse has a lot of teal and blue in it. And we talked about how he used that as a contrast. But what emotions do the colors blue bring up for you? When you think of blue, what emotion do you think of? Peaceful? Okay.
The sky or the water.
Okay. Have you ever heard this saying, I'm feeling kind of blue? Okay, what does that mean when you say you're feeling kind of blue? Sad. So do you think maybe he painted the horses in the cool blues to maybe make us think that he's feeling a little sad, that he has this guy on his back and won't get off? Okay. What else do you notice about how he created motion? Because that's his goal here. He grew up around the rodeo. His dad was a rodeo producer, and he mostly paints things having to do with Americana and rodeo. And he wants to show action. So he's used some tricks, the colors. We've talked about this. What else do you see? Yes.
He uses bold black lines a lot and just very jagged, and they move your eye, like it makes your eye travel around. And
Right.
I really go to the rodeo riders, I guess it would be his right foot, how he does it double, and it sort of reminded me of Waddell's buffalo or bison, Angus. You know, because you can't tell where the real leg is.
Right.
Yeah, the shadow or the movement of it is.
This part right here, you're just, where's the real one? Okay.
It's almost like two frames of a picture overlaid on top of one another, so you get
That-
that feeling from motion. Yeah,
It is like a flip book, and a lot of artists use, well, not a lot, but some artists have used that technique all the way back to olden times, because it comes from a guy named Frederick Myberg, who took photographs of horses, strangely enough, trying to prove that all four of their feet were never off the ground when they ran. And so he took a sequence of them, and that's what they're doing, is like a sequence of where the hand is. Okay, so
You know, in the light, the way he uses light in an arc, and my eye just keeps following that white arc back and forth.
so there's kind of making a triangle with the color to lead your eye around. What do you notice about the brush strokes?
They're bold, yeah.
Yes, they're. If you ever have an opportunity to see a video of him painting, you'll see that he paints with a lot of energy and very quickly, and he will end up with these splatters and drips, and he does not think of them as mistakes at all. He thinks that they add to the energy of the painting. Do you agree with that?
Definitely.
Okay. What set of lines do you see in here?
I'm looking at like the turquoise lines up there, and I think they remind me of the fringe that sometimes the cowboys have on their chaps.
Mm-hmm.
But they also are moving, you know, all over the place.
Yeah.
Do you notice any diagonal lines in here?
And his shirt.
Lots of diagonals here.
And those are complementary colors too, I remember.
Right, they're right next, directly across this color wheel from each other. We have diagonals in the horse's legs.
With the legs.
Do you see any other ones? We maybe can think of this as a diagonal.
I mean, to me, it's almost all diagonal. The only like horizontal or vertical I see is like the saddle strap right in the middle.
Yeah.
But I mean, almost everything to me seems like
Right.
it's a diagonal.
And diagonals are in art are used to show action. So Walter Peel used lots of things to show action. He uses warm colors. He used energetic brush strokes. He used this shadowing motion, and he used tons of diagonals because that was his goal. He mostly likes the color because he says color shows action and rodeos are all about action. That's a direct quote from him. I want to show you a couple more paintings that he did where he's contrasted the warm and the cool.
Oh boy. Those are even more abstract.
Yeah.
Now, what's this one? I have a hard time making that out. I mean, here's another rider.
This is a horse and rider as well. There's a,
Oh, I
Yep.
see. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow, it's neat.
okay, I'm going to show you one more painting by him where he does something completely different, I think. How are the colors he used in here different than the colors he used in there?
Mostly cool.
Mostly cool colors.
Most blues, reds.
And not as anywhere near as much movement.
So do you think he was trying to show movement in here?
No, calm.
Calm. The only place you kind of can see some movement is if you look at the horse's head, and that's the only thing that was moving in this picture. So you can see that color can convey a really important idea or emotion. And those bright colors definitely say energy. So we've seen two artists, one that chose lots and lots of warm, cool colors to show time of day and to create a mood of kind of calm or serenity. And then we see this guy who used lots of warm colors to show energy and excitement. I want to ask you which one looks like the West most to you since we're in the Western Gallery.
This one.
To you, this one, why is that?
Because I just remember watching cowboy movies.
And so for you, the West is bucking broncos
Yes.
and not so much cows out in the snow, because you maybe could see those somewhere else. Okay, maybe. And this is the same for you?
It's absolutely the same for me, yeah.
Okay, and how about you, Pat?
Yeah, and well, I see the hat and I see the horse.
Right, there's a lot of other Western things in here. Okay, well, thank you so much for coming to the Hamilton Gallery and exploring my two favorite pieces of art here. And I think that maybe now you'll understand why I like them so much.